Hi, welcome to the second episode of Purpose in the Gray. I have a thought that I would like to share with you today. And this thought is when we are in the gray season, this season where we have a need that has not been met yet, and we are faced with difficult emotions every day, our deepest pain and suffering is not caused by that need not being met. But actually, our deepest pain and suffering is caused by how we manage the thoughts and the emotions that arise as a result of that need not being met. For example, if your unmet need is that you don't have a job and you're desiring a job, a meaningful job, the pain and suffering that you might experience might not have a lot to do with the fact that you don't have a job, but it might have a lot to do with with how you deal with these thoughts and emotions that are attached to not having a job. And I am not saying this to minimize the pain that you might be experiencing or even just to suggest that we should ignore our emotions. No. But I am saying that it is possible to go through difficult seasons in life and yet find peace somewhere in there. This just begs for the question then, how do we manage these emotions? How do we find that place while in the gray? And today, I'm going to spend some time just introducing a mind management tool that has been really helpful for me. It's going to be the first of a few episodes that will be coming up in the future seasons, future videos. Sorry. This tool is journaling. Now, journaling has been to me what a dependable and reliable friend could be. And this is just because, first of all, it's right here with me, pen and paper, and you're good to go. You can just start writing. Now, I know in the gray, sometimes we might want to talk to people, but not be able to talk to people. Might just be because we're not feeling safe enough, or because these people are not available there emotionally or just even physically. And sometimes, and this has been my case, all of that has been my case, but also sometimes I have been where I'm not ready to share the emotional and psychological mess that is going on inside of me with another person. I'm not ready to invite another person into that mess. Of course, maybe because I'm afraid that they will not understand me or because they will judge me or whatever the case might be. But in those cases where I couldn't talk to anybody, journaling came through for me. And that is why I want to ask you to consider just having journaling as part of your self-care routine while in your gray season. In today's episode, we're going to talk about the value of journaling and just how do you journal. So, what is the value of journaling? So, first thing, when we journal, it's like we're opening a vent. We're able to purge. We are able to clear whatever blockage is found inside of us. We can when pen meets paper, we just write out what's in our hearts. There's something therapeutic that happens. There is some outpouring, some emptying that happens when we write. That's the first thing. And that is really important. Might almost sound obvious, but it's really important because sometimes we just have bottled emotions and thoughts and feelings in there which we could easily release by just writing and feel so much lighter. So that's the first thing. Journal when you need to vent out some emotions. Second thing, journaling helps a lot with finding clarity. Let's take the example of not having a job. When you journal, you might be able to find that, hey, what are my needs here? What is it that I want? I just want to have basic needs to feel safe. I just want to feel like I'm contributing to the society. While you're journaling, you might realize, well, I'm not able to get that because I don't have a job and that's out of my reach if that is the case. But what I can do is I could volunteer to feel that sense of purpose and meaning. I already have my basic needs. They might not be the way I want them to be met, but I already have everything that I need. It is in journaling that we are able to identify, to give emotion words to how we feel, to identify exactly how we're feeling, what our needs are, and what the next step might be. So journaling that's the second thing. Journaling will help immensely with finding clarity. The third thing is that journaling will help you process things, process situations. Now, let's take an example that you might be having a tough conversation coming up, maybe with a loved one or just at work, a tough conversation. When we journal, it's possible to find multiple perspectives. So this is what I mean. You might be able to see, okay, this is where I'm coming from. This is what is influencing my thought. This is the story I am telling myself, which you could also go ahead and say, is this actually true or it's not? You can also see, is there another thought way to think about this? Is that the only way to make meaning out of this situation? You might also be able to see another person's perspective and say, okay, this is what they might be thinking. Of course, we can never be right, but we might be able to speculate. Having multiple perspectives has worked for me in the sense that I end up finding, first of all, I know that everything is workable. There's nothing that cannot be worked out. And secondly, that I find so much compassion with myself and with the other person. So when I'm interacting with them, I'm interacting with them from a place of compassion and love, as opposed to what it would have been. Well, I'm not saying that it's always like 100% compassion, but better than what it would have been for sure. So journaling can help you process thoughts and situations. The fourth and final thing in this episode is journaling will help immensely increase your self-confidence. Now, I have been very blessed, very fortunate to have people that actually love me in my life, and they actually care for me and they want to know what's going on with me and they listen to me. The thing with that is sometimes I have found that my knee-jerk reaction when things happen is to call them and just talk to them. But in the times where I have actually taken a step back and written down what's going on before talking to them, it has helped increase my confidence in that it just tells me that, oh, wait, I am actually able to hold space for myself. I'm actually able to sit down with how I am feeling and listen to my heart. I'm actually able to meet my emotional needs. I can actually talk or vent, share with another person and lead the conversation in that I know how I want to be helped. I want the other person to be there for me. So journaling will help you increase your confidence in that you will be able to hold space for yourself and guide the conversation. And guiding the conversation too is very important because it differentiates between mindless venting, which sometimes can be called emotional dumping, where you're just dumping your emotions on another person, and talking to another person because there's what you need out, there's a kind of help that you need from that person. Sometimes the help just might be, I need you to just listen, I need to hear myself thinking out loud, or I need us to brainstorm on some ideas or around this issue. It could help might look like different things, but when you take a step back and think and journal before talking to another person, it comes from a place of so much power. Now, how do you journal? The very first and most important thing here is to be intentional. Be intentional about including journaling in your self-care routine through this period. You might even get more granular and say, I'll be journaling every day at 7 in the morning or at 8 or whatever time in the morning for 30 minutes. While I do that, I will close the doors and turn off my phone and just take off all distractions and actually be there present for myself. So that's the most important thing. Be intentional. And then when you start writing, just start writing whatever comes into your heart. Just put it down on paper, what it is that you're feeling, what it is that you're thinking, how your day was. Just write whatever it comes to your heart. Now, I know that sometimes when we're not in an emotionally charged situation, it might be hard to find things to write. And in those times, journaling prompts can help a lot. So first thing, you can just Google journaling prompts, and then you'll find them. There are so many of them. I have also prepared a few journal prompts that will help just jumpstart your writing. There are a few questions that will help you look inside and help you start the writing process. These journal prompts will be found on my Instagram page, which is just 5 and then Mary Waceke, and then Waceke with periods in between the words, the letters. 5 and then Waceke. Waceke has period marks in between the letters. And yeah, just go download them and use them. I am sure they will be helpful. Now, next week, we'll be talking more about how can you journal to increase self-awareness. Truth be told, sometimes there's so much about ourselves that we don't actually know. There's so many times that we might actually be going through life not being honest with ourselves. Next week, we're going to talk about how do you journal to increase your self-awareness, to change, to understand patterns, and to start working toward changing them. You do not want to miss that episode. So here's what you can do. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that even if you forget, it reminds you. How cool is that? All right. Until next time, take care. Please take care of yourself. Bye.